Hey everyone, welcome to the Guilty Gear Strive tutorial for Kai. In this video, we're going to go over Kai's moveset, his basic game plan, and how to beat him. Kai is considered the all-around character, meaning he has a good move or tool for most situations, but does not excel in any particular area. He has solid projectiles and anti-air options, and should be effective but not overpowered against most characters. He's really the honest character of the game in that he does not have any crazy mix-ups, damage, speed, or broken moves. Not that he's bad in any of these areas, but he just doesn't have anything that's like crazy high like other characters. So you can't really go full ape with Kai, but in the right hands he can be king-like. So let's start off with some of the pros and cons. He has good tools. In general, he has an answer for just about any situation. He has good range with his projectiles and decent reach on his slash. He has weak pressure because it can be a bit of a struggle to keep your opponent on the defensive and locked down. This is especially true because most of his moves don't give him much frame advantage. Going over his normals, we have Kai's basic punch. It's fast and can be used to interrupt pressure and get the other player off you. 5P can be used as a fast anti-air, but it's not the most reliable. 5P can link into 6P, and 6P is his universal anti-air and can combo into Dire Cloud for more damage. Next up, we have Kai's kick. 2K and 5K can combo into his 2D, his sweep. Jump kick has pretty good reach. 5K is interesting because it's a standing kick that hits low. For a kick, it has plenty of active frames, making it a great option to use as a media on wake up. There's also 6K, which is actually plus on block. It's great for continuing pressure but has terrible startup, so try to use it only when the other player is blocking a lot. For slash, we get some good range options. Far slash and 2S are great as pokes. You'll be using these a lot. Close slash can be jump cancelled. Heavy slashes have a bit more range than slash but has more startup. Mostly heavy slashes will be used to extend combos. 2H is a 2-hit anti-air that can be great for hit confirming. 6H knocks the other player away or bounces them off the wall to combo for more damage. Dust is pretty basic. We have his sweep and his overhead launcher. Both are valuable tools to keep in mind when mixing up the other player. Jump dust is interesting since it leaves a static projectile. Could be good for breaking up your air approach. Kai's throw gives us some interesting pressure options since it causes a hard knockdown. You can follow up with charge stun edge to kind of keep that pressure going, giving him some mix-up potential there as well. Don't forget you can also Roman cancel a throw for extra damage. Before moving on to Kai's specials, let's talk about his shock state. Shock state gives the other player an electricity effect. Some of Kai's specials either apply or remove shock state. Shock state improves the properties of Kai's specials such as damage and frames. Let's move on to Kai's specials. Starting off, we have stun edge, which applies shock state. The projectile is fast but has long startup and recovery, so really think about when you can catch the other player off guard with this. There's also an air version that changes up the angles. Charge stun edge is a 3-hit projectile. It's great for starting offensive pressure and leading to mix-up options, especially useful when Roman cancelled and followed up with a dash. Try to use this from longer range. It has a long startup, so you can get punished for this. If you can get a hard knockdown, then this is a great wake-up Okizeme option for locking down the other player. Stun Dipper is a sliding low attack with a follow-up slash. Use this one as a combo ender or for catching players that tend to block high. The follow-up slash does not combo if too close or far, so really learn the range of Stun Dipper. It also removes shock state. Fudra Arc is a jumping kick that can hop over some low attacks. It's got good reach, especially if you dash into it. It is safe on block and even safer if the other player is in shock state. It can also be used as a combo extender. This move removes shock state. In some situations, if the opponent is jumping, you can use Future Arc to knock them back down from the air. This can be surprisingly useful for continuing pressure. Vapor Thrust is Kai's invincible reversal DP. Heavy version sends him flying across the screen. Slash version is much shorter. Dashing can really extend the range of both. Good anti-air option for players jumping in, but try to avoid getting into the habit of throwing these out to get out of pressure. On hard knockdown, you can use this to keep your opponent in check. Direclad is mainly a combo ender that applies shock state. It knocks the other player back on hit, but has some heavy pushback for Kai as well. Still, I like to use this move to carry the opponent to the corner. Delayed use of this move for block strings can make your pressure harder to deal with. Kai's Overdrive moves, we start off with Sacred Edge. It's a fast moving projectile that has 5 hits it can be comboed into. It's a great move for catching the other player off guard, especially from a distance and they're throwing out something random. Kai's other Overdrive move is called Ride the Lightning. It has great corner carry, so it's useful for getting wall breaks. It is invincible on startup, so it can be used as a wake-up reversal. It can also be done in the air. Its only downside is long recovery if blocked. Kai's last Overdrive is Soul's Dragon Install. You can only use this move at 30% HP or lower. It buffs all of Kai's moves, adding more hits and more damage as well as other changes. On hit, it can cause some damage and wall break as well. To be honest, I rarely use this move since saving the tension for an RC can be much more useful in clutch situations. It does look badass for flexing though. So now that we've gone over his moves, let's consider Kai's core game plan, given the tools he can use. At long range, you want to think about throwing out Stun Edge. Don't just spam Stun Edge, but try to read your opponent and how they react to Stun Edge. You can mix in Air Stun Edge depending on how they like to try to approach. If you can get a good charged Stun Edge out at long distance safely, then you can get your offensive started, but be careful about how often you throw this out raw. At mid-range, Kai really shines. Use his slash normals to poke for punishes and counter hits that can convert to more damage. Close range, you want to go for that hard knockdown or throw, but try not to stay at this range for too long since he can be beat out by many other characters in this area. I want to reiterate, this is just his basic game plan. You can play Kai defensively and offensively, and often mixing this up is critical to keeping your opponent guessing what you will do next. If you're having trouble beating Kai, just remember his pressure is actually not that good and leaves a lot of opportunities to open up for your turn. So learn when you can challenge him with your character. Using just a bit of faultless defense especially helps against Kai, as many of his moves already cause him to be pushed back. Kai has a lot of good tools to keep you honest, so playing a strong neutral game helps a lot. That is knowing when you can approach and how to effectively whiff punish or poke with your normals. Most of this will come from reading players' tendencies when playing Kai. If you're a rushing character, you can really take advantage of dashing and blocking to counter some of his mid-range game. So in conclusion, I think Kai teaches a lot of good core fundamentals for playing Guilty Gear Strive, since he needs to lean on the fundamentals so heavily. He helps you build a strong platform to learn how to beat or use other characters, in my opinion. And I think he's overall a really good character, really strong, and should give you all the tools you need to beat anyone. If you guys like this video and want to see more guides, please subscribe. If you guys feel like I missed anything, please drop a comment below. Thanks for watching.
Duel 2. Let's rock. Slap. Duel 3. Let's rock. Counter. 不条理なんだ。ボルカニックバイパーボルテンどうだ下でボルカニックスタンディッパー見切ったバンビット決めるぜバンビットブリンガー草はバンビットブリンガー低いビビたせスラッ
またいつでもお相手します。